What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Elena Leona, in the hizzy tizzy. On my new podcast, All Things Elena, this is where we will be talking about whatever the fuck I want. And hopefully coming together on some sort of context. You know how everybody's like, oh, you gotta find your one niche, the one thing that you're good at. And I'm just like, you know what? No, I have like 50 billion things that I want to do. I am literally on a path to self-discovery, and right now I feel like I need to share with the world that it's all about discovery. You need to get out there and try all the things and quit being afraid to do it, because what if I fail, or what if I'm not good? And it's like, brings me right back around to the saying where it's like, okay, well, there's McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King and Arby's and Carl's Jr., Jack in the Box, Burger King, all those places. Do you think they quit making hamburgers and chicken nuggets because somebody else is driving in the same lane? No. And what's funny is, it's like, if you're really putting yourself out there, I really fully believe, and I know it to be true, it's like your tribe will find you. You know what I mean? You might only get a couple views here and there, and really it's not even about doing the views. It's about what my homegirl Gabby Grief, and if you don't follow her, you should, because she is just so wicked smart. But it's like, you really just have to, it's really all about living your life unlike the rest of the world, okay? Right? Our generation, I was born in 83. I don't know if I'm Generation X or a millennial or whatever the fuck thing you want to fall me into, whatever category, it just doesn't matter. But the point is that we've been bred and led to believe that the thing for us to do is to go to school, learn the things, go to college, get this job, make all the money, buy the house, have the kids, be married to one, a fairy tale lover who's never gonna cheat on you, and that's the bullshit that we've been fucking fed our whole entire lives, our whole entire existence growing up. And it's like, that literally is not what life is. That is not what's happening. And can you imagine in 20 years from now? It's like, my generation, I feel like, is one of the last of the generations that lived before the internet. Okay, so think about that. Think about where humans who are born now and humans that are born 10 years ago, like, think about where this world is fitting to be in the next 20 years. You know what I mean? They don't even teach kids how to read or write cursive anymore, and that's just not a thing. But I bet you they're going to be like coding programs by 5th grade. You know what I mean? So, and the fucked up thing is that us in the 80s and, pre-internet, it's like, we're all going to have to learn how to get on that boat, or at least, you know what I mean? Like, be able to some form of, getting there and progressing, because the world is just moving real fast. Too fast for some. So yeah, I'm just here sticking my balls out. And I don't know if anybody's listening or will be listening or won't be listening or whatever, but you know what? It's like, who cares? Who gives a fuck? I'm just going to put it out there because it's going to make me feel good. And, I know sometimes I've got like the old school heads, and, some of my family, they're like, why would you put your whole shit out there and your whole everything, your heart on your sleeve? It's like, because it's like, you know what? I don't know, because maybe it'll help somebody. Maybe one person will hear it and be like, oh man, that really made me feel good. So, to all my friends and fans and families out there, if you guys are bearing with me through this whole thing, hats off to you, because, I know my brain is all over the place. I'm literally like squirrel every second. It's like I get a thought, and then something else comes along, and then boom, it's like right off onto that subject. And I might be bouncing around. So if you can hang on for the ride, I love your freaking whole little face off. And, Thanks for joining the show, All Things Elena. It's like, shit, man. I'll be talking about funny stuff, stories, old parties, old bullshit drama that I went through, relationships. I've only had, I was a hussy. I can't. I mean, we don't have to tell everybody. Well, I just did, but I've only had 2 real relationships in my life. Two partners that that were mine, and I was theirs and they were mine. And the first one fucking ruined my life. And it's like, here I am still 20 years later talking about it. And this poor, poor guy, the second one, hi Bird, he's like ride or die for real, because he has had to like bear the brunt of me figuring myself out while I'm on this journey of like, self-discovery and healing and just figuring out what the fuck. And, so he's been taking the lashings from the shit that has happened to me in the past. And here I am in this world trying to put my little foot down and set boundaries and, and just live life the way I want to live it. I'm so fucking sick and tired of people telling me how it's going to be or how it should be or what I need to be doing. And it's like, I'm 41 years old. No, I'm not married. No, I don't own a home, and I don't fucking have kids. And you know what? Whoever out there thinks that that's the way it needs to be is just like, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you. That was the brainwashery of our foremothers, of our parents, our grandparents, you know what I mean? Back in the day when women weren't even allowed to have a credit card or own a home. It's like, that shit, that is not the business. And fuck having kids. I'm sorry. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think parents are legitimately like the number one active good parents are the number one like gangsters in the world, because if you can put up with somebody, a little tiny being that's a little mini you, just wanting and needing and sucking the fucking life right out of you, and it's like they'll take you for everything they got if you let them. And you know what, I feel like if I was a parent, that would be me, because I'm more concerned about the part where I want you to like me, right? I want us to be friends. So I would probably be the worst fucking parent on the face of the planet. You know what I mean? Cause I'd be like, oh yeah, you want to do heroin? Well, just as long as you're doing it under my roof, so I can make sure that, if you're choking out and ODing, that I can fucking take you to the hospital. I mean, I don't know. I'm just, obviously taking it to the nth. I'm dramatic. I'm dramatical. That's what I do. I use it for effect. Okay. Get over it. Or get with it. So I'm just saying, yeah, I think children, they will suck the fucking life out of you. Take, want, need. And it's like, I'm finding that, and I was a kid once, and I'm speaking from experience, and you know what I mean? So it's like, I did those things, and you literally just go around your tiny little life, pushing all the boundaries, seeing what you can get into and whatnot. And, sometimes you don't, because you've been beaten mentally into submission, for and so you don't act. Anyways, whatever. That's off the subject. But my whole point is that, yeah, I don't have kids. I'm not married. I don't own a home. And sometimes I'm like, man, owning a home like a fool's game? You know what I mean? Because if you zoom out in the broad spectrum of things, it's like you don't own shit. And when you die, you're just going to become a picture on a wall and a memory for other people. And 20 years after that, you're gone. Like, nobody's remembering you. Nobody's giving a fuck about you and your home and whatever. And it's like, you never really fucking own it anyway. And the other thing is like, if you're owning a home, you better damn sure have the money to dump into it anytime any problem happens. The roof is leaking. The refrigerator went out. The fucking, you gotta tear up the sidewalk because there's roots growing out underneath, and it's fucking tripping up, walking Miss Daisy, who tripped over a bumpy part of the curb and then smacked her fucking teeth out. And now she wants to sue you, but it's like, oh, it's my property line, but really the city owns the sidewalk, but the city tells me I'm responsible. It's like, fuck all that. Although at the same time, it's like, yeah, well, renting is also pissing your life away, just throwing money down the toilet. But it's like, you ain't responsible for shit. And really, like I said before, it's like nothing really is yours. You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, even if you buy land and then when you die, it goes to somebody else. And so I don't have anybody I'm leaving my shit to unless it's my partner. Like if I die before my partner. You know what I mean? I feel like, again, this world is going so fucking fast, and we're moving and technology is wonderful and all these things. And this is like, holy shit. Like, if we don't get this global warming shit under control, and, we're basically just destroying this fucking planet. And I don't know, how long does it take? Every couple thousand years or whatever it is, it's like this planet, I feel like, explodes itself and wipes everything out and starts over again, right? Or something, maybe. I don't know. Conspiracy, whatever. Cool. So I imagine if I were to have kids, I'd be so afraid every fucking turn, like afraid to send them to school because, hey, now instead of practicing for tornadoes, we're practicing for active shooters. Yeah, sweet. My kid would be lucky if I let him fucking go to the mailbox. Legit. Like, I don't have it in me to have that kind of worry because it's like I already worry so much about all sorts of other things. It's like I literally couldn't imagine the weight of having to worry about a tiny human all the time. You know what I mean? And I've been a caregiver, and no, they're not my kid, but it's like, shit, man, I find myself, taking better care of them than myself. And so I feel like that's exactly what I would do if I had children. But in this world, it's just like, holy Christ, it's going so fast and so far that I just don't know that I'd want to bring anybody up in this piece of shit. And don't also, again, get me totally wrong. It's like, that's just one of like 360 different possible views I could actually have or see. Because on the other hand, it's like this world is so wonderful and awesome and big and great, and we can do whatever we want. That's the whole point, is that we could do whatever we want. You know what I mean? Outside of whatever it is you think that you're allowed to do, whatever the church is telling you to do, whatever your parents are telling you to do, it's like, that's bullshit. And no, you don't. And no, you fucking don't. And quit. Like, I wish that I could just grab some of my friends and some people from back in my, childhood days and just grab them by the shoulders and fucking shake them and be like, wake up, motherfucker. Like, no, you don't have to. Oh, but you already did. You already did. Find the husband, get the white picket fence, had a bunch of kids, and now you're on so many fucking head meds and whatever else it is to get through the life, drinking wine all night long just so you can make it through and, live this life that you never really wanted to live, but you were told you were supposed to do it that way, so you did. You literally drank the Kool-Aid, and sometimes I'm like, man, I am one lucky motherfucker. Like, I never got my ass beat as a kid. I mean, well, a couple times I did, but I largely was like alone. I was a loner kid. And, which at first, like back in my 20s, if you'd have asked me, I'd have been like, oh man, I was so lonely all the time. Like, it was such a rough childhood and I didn't really have any friends and I got picked on a lot. But now that I think about it, it's like, I am so fucking self-sufficient, I feel like, or more than a lot of people I know. And I'm never bored. That's like one key ass thing, is that I'm never fucking bored ever. Because I grew up learning how to entertain myself. And so now it's like I really enjoy my own company. Actually, I might value my time and my alone time more than anything on this planet. No, not might. I do. And so I put such a heavy value on time that it's like, if people fuck with my time, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, what's that big worm? Messing with my money's like messing with my emotions. No, it's messing with my time is messing with my emotions. And I'm only going to let you do it so many times before I either fucking lash out because I don't know how to put boundaries down, because I feel like a rude ass for saying no, until I stew on it for like a fucking week and then be like, yeah, I should have said, and then did this. And then eventually it's like a caged rat. You back me in a corner and the only way out is to chew your fucking face off. So that's what it is, people. You know what I mean? My time is my emotions. And you know what? And my time is money. So it's all intertwined. And I actually have I feel really deeply, and I feel really poorly and sad for people who like always constantly have to fill their time with other people and other things and all the things and like go. And it's almost the same form of escapism, right? Because you don't want to sit with yourself for too long and hear what's going on, in here, inside of your brain, because it's just too much to deal with. So you fill your schedule, you become a workaholic, or turned to alcohol. Fuck shit, man. I've been alcohol, partying, drugging from the time I was like, I don't know, 17. I started dabbling when I was like 16. I really started hitting the shit real hard from like 17 to 39 years old. That's a long time. And I'm not saying I was drinking every single day since then, but I can't even tell you this is why I'm like, I hope some of y'all stick through this podcast, man, because there will be some stories faux show. Like when I moved here from Michigan, I tried pot a couple times in Michigan, and I tried drinking a little, but none of it was ever enough to be like, ooh, yeah, I definitely feel it. It was more like, okay, I did it. Am I supposed to be feeling something now? I don't know if it was really shitty weed or not enough alcohol. I don't know, but it felt like it was more, now that I'm thinking back on it, it felt more like maybe the high of the adrenaline, like knowing that I did it. But the fact of the matter is that, yeah, I've done everything from mushrooms, acid, coke, speed, fucking Molly, press tabs, meth. I mean, all of it. Drinking, all the weed. And it's like, now that I've been, actually, one day after Easter, it will have been an entire year that I've been booze free. And I can't even tell you, I literally have this feeling in my mind, like, I like to call it like, I'm literally like 1 year old. Or I'm today years old, straight up, because I'm finally learning how to become a person again without the escapism, which was alcohol, right? Because you just don't want to be, you're trying to run away from the present. You're trying to run away from reality. You're trying to hide from it. So you fucking drink. Well, I do. That's why I can't drink. And everybody's like, well, I can't just have one. It's like, well, if I could have just fucking one, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now about being sober. Now, would I? I mean, look at me, bitch. Do it look like I could just have one ass cupcake? No. Jesus Christ. Like, get with the program. So, like, and sometimes I wish I could. I'm like, man, God damn it. Like, why can't I just have one glass of wine? Shit, 2 glasses of wine. But to me, it's like, what's the use? What's the fucking point? To drink the calories because it tastes so fucking good and it doesn't taste good. And it's a waste of calories. Like, I might as well have a sandwich. You know what I mean? If it's calories we're talking. But seriously, it's like the whole point for me with alcohol is to fucking get loose and get swifty, man. Like, that's my jam. I love to party. And that's why I shouldn't. But also, with this whole alcohol and quitting alcohol thing, it's like, man, I'm really, really starting to become on this journey of like health and spirituality. And it's like, I don't know if this is just the coming of age when you're like 40 something, because 40 is the new 30. And I remember, 5 years ago, I was like, I'm going to be my best self. I'm going to be my best fucking self at 40. And in my mind, I also thought that was going to be like 100 pounds lighter. But I'll take it as a win, because basically most of my year of 40, I've been trying to figure out how to do life without alcohol. And I also don't do prescription meds. Like, I'm not on anything. Some people would, beg to differ and say that I should be. I've got some doctors trying to tell me like I should be on metformin or a statin, but I just don't, I'm not buying it. You know what I mean? I really believe that in society and in America, at least so far, because I haven't lived in any other country, but it's like, this is more certainly a sick care. Like, it's not the healthcare system, it's a sick care system, right? 75% of all pharmaceuticals are taken by Americans. That's 3/4, bro, of the pharmaceuticals in this world are consumed by Americans. So it's like, holy shit, like, what is that telling you? And also, I got this new book, Living Good by Dr. Living Good. I don't know. I saw something on Instagram and it was just like, boom, sold. Okay, I went right to Amazon, bought the book, and it's like I could have signed up for the whole thing and got the thing for free, but I just really liked what he had to say, and I'm only on like page 3 because I just started reading it last night, but my eyes were so tired. But what I'm getting at is that once you become on those kind of medications, it's almost like, obviously the sick care system, the healthcare, quote unquote, healthcare system, that's how they profit. They profit off us and keeping us sick. So it's like, if we have these things, and I'm not saying for 100% of the people that are on pharmaceuticals, like there's some people that fucking need it and there's no two ways about it. But for somebody like me, who it's like, really all I have to do is change up my lifestyle, change my diet, change, you know what I mean? And it's like, those symptoms could go away. I'm more into, let me cure the thing that's causing the symptoms, not cover up and mask the symptoms. So if I started taking a statin right now, or a fucking metformin, to lower stuff, it's like eventually my body would fucking have to have that and I wouldn't be able to stop. So I'm at the point where I'm like, fuck that shit, until a goddamn doctor sticks with me, first of all, long enough to know my history and kind of halfway be at least semi-invested in me as a patient or a client. Then I'm not doing shit. Like, until one of them sits me down and is like, bitch, you will fucking croak out like right now or tomorrow if you do not have this thing. Like, you will fucking die. Then I will consider taking the pills. But you know what I mean? Otherwise, I'm on my own ass journey to find ways and things that I can stop doing and start doing to make it so that I don't have to become reliant on these medications. Because otherwise it's just like, I'm not buying it. I'm not sitting with a fucking doctor who I've never met in my life via telehealth, which I do think telehealth is brilliant, because then you can get in and get seen and at least chat with a doctor, sooner than later if you can do it by video. But it's like, yeah, for a doctor who doesn't know me, doesn't even ask what my fucking eating habits are. They just look at me, look at my double chin. They look at some of my blood and they're like, okay, well, you're fat as fuck. And what are they? I'm actually labeled as severely morbidly obese. And what's funny is too, the last time when I went to have my little women's annual, my favorite thing, I was laying back on the table and the doctor reached her hand out to grab my hand to help pull me up. And I did this like little fucking Game of Thrones Arya kick move, wah, and got my own self up without her. And she was like, oh my God, like, oh my God, you didn't need my help. Like, you're so fat and morbidly obese that you mustn't need my help. And now I'm fucking blown away because you didn't. It's like, exactly, bitch. You don't know my life. I be stretching. I do a little bit of workouts here and there, a little isolation, little muscle stuff, squats, some little like air push-ups, whatever the fuck. I'm spry, ho. What? Get me on the basketball court. Like, I got moves, ho. So it's just funny. Yeah, the whole sick care system. That's where I'm at with that. But again, oh my gosh, it's already been, I can't even believe I've been talking straight up nonstop for the last 24-ish minutes. So if you've stuck with me this long and you are still listening, that's fucking tight. I'm going to go ahead and cut this at about a half hour. Uploading to Buzzsprout. Heyo! And they're free, and it seems like I get 2 hours a month. So I wonder if that translates into 4 different half-hour episodes. That'd be tight. A month. Oh shit, that's like 1 a week. Oh my God, I could drop one a week, and then every 2 hours renews. So if you guys are sticking with me and I'm getting any views, that's fucking tight. I love you so hard. So I guess this I could start kind of sort of wrapping this up. Again, I'm all over the place. If you can handle that, I love you. If not, no worries. And if you want to try, fucking kudos to you as well, because I know I'm all over the place. And it's like, I really struggle as a content creator. And you know what? Oh my God. So back to Gabby Grief. This young woman, I swear, she is so smart and like so wise beyond her years, and every time she posts something, I'm like, oh my God, that's it. Like, I feel like she can absolutely 10,000% articulate, things that I feel and that I see in my mind and that I want to put out there, but it's like, I can't get it out. I really struggle with context. It's like, and she told me, we became friends actually a little bit. She started following me. We've been talking in Instagram messages and leaving voice clips. How fucking cute is that? I'm like, yes, dude, I'm obsessed. and I just think it's really neat. And she goes, like before she started following me or even checked out any of my stuff, she was like, do you make content? Because you sound like it. You seem like a content making person. If you're not, you should be. And it's like, oh my God, girl, I love you so hard. Thank you for saying that. Because for a long time, I go rounds all the time. It's like, I'll be super consistent. And then I'm like, I'm not getting any views. Nobody gives a shit. So I stop. And most recently I was doing those self-care prompt cards, right? And I was like, at first it became that I was going to pull one for a friend and I was going to share it with her every day. And then after like the second or third one, I was like, fuck, why don't I share it with all my friends? And we pull from the card and we do the thing every day. And, I don't know if it was the algorithms thing or because I'm a quote unquote digital creator on Facebook. So they pay me per, for getting views and likes and comments and all the engagement. But really, I also think that because they're paying me, they make me have to work extra hard to actually get those views. So I don't think that I'm getting up into the algorithm as much as I should be for the kind of, you know what I'm saying? So before, when I wasn't making money, it's like, easily in a couple days you'd get 1.5 thousand views on a video. Maybe not so much comments or likes, or maybe like 50 or whatever. But now that they're paying me, it's like, my videos are getting like 200 views. Maybe they're getting like 43 in a span of like 4 or 5 days. And that's really just frustrating sometimes as a content creator, because it's like, well, what the fuck am I doing this for then if nobody's giving a shit? But on the other hand, right, that's only one of the 360 possible views I could have. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, so if 43 people were sitting in my office or in my bedroom right now, I'd be shitting my pants, because that's a lot. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of eyeballs. That's 86 eyeballs looking at your ass, wondering what is going to happen next. So really, and then that's where right back around to what I was saying in the beginning. It's like, fuck doing it for the views. Yes, I'm doing it for the people, but mostly I'm doing it for myself, right? Because I just want to live my life in the way that I want to fucking live it. And I want to do things that I want to fucking do and not fall into the norms of my generation, which is supposed to be marriage, kids, owning a home. Like, no, I don't own a home. You know what though? You know what I do have? I have cheap fucking rent. I have managed to create this, what do you call it? Not normal. I can't find the word right now, so bear with me. I've managed to create this life where I don't have to work my ass off. I do not have to work 40 plus hours a week, racking my brain, straining my strain to do what I do. You know what I mean? My rent is literally $340. What? My whole entire fucking nut is like maybe $1,100. And that's including the salon rent. The rent that I pay to have a booth 3 days a week is $375. So that's like the I pay more there than I pay at home, which is totally fine, because you know what? This is going to make for the perfect next episode. We're running out of time here, but I was just going to say, yeah, so I have literally figured out how to create a life for myself where I don't have to be like damned by the man to be strapped down to the 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Owning this whole huge house where I'm literally having anxiety because I'm just trying to wonder how the fuck it is I'm supposed to make rent and groceries and pay for kids and da-da-da-da. So really, it's like, it's all about breaking the norm and not being trapped into and sucked into this lifestyle that our parents are telling us that we're supposed to have, and our grandparents and all this stuff. So anyways, with that being said, I'm about to get up out of here, and I cannot believe it's been a whole half hour. I had no idea where I was going with this, and if you've made it through to the end, please give me a like, a shout out, a comment, be like, hey, something to let me know that you made it, and I love y'all so much. Okay, we'll talk soon. Love y'all in the face. Ooh!